Things you didn't know about the Gabby Petito murder case, part 6.
When was the last time that you saw Brian and Gabriel?
Well, Brian is here.
Brian is here?
Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say.
So Brian ended up murdering Gabby Petito on the evening of August 27, 2021 at the Spread Creek campground. He then moved and staged her body out by a creek. Then he decided to go hiking and just stayed overnight in the wilderness, snapping pictures of the landscape and a lot of bones of dead animals. The next day on August 29th, he makes a phone call to his mom Roberta around 1:15 and they talk for 54 minutes. After that phone call, his parents call and book a lawyer for $25,000. He starts hitchhiking to get his way back to the van. It takes 2 different rides, but a couple ends up picking him up first and taking him halfway. And the couple said that he was sketchy because he offered $200 to go a very short distance and he was kind of jumpy and skittish. His next ride was with a lady who was on her way home from church service when she saw Brian and agreed to give him a ride to the campground. She was going to give him a ride all the way to the van, but he was pretty insistent on getting out at the gate and was even trying to get out of the car before it stopped moving. Once back in the van, he grabs Gabby's phone and starts texting back to his phone as if she's alive. And the fact that he was able to get into Gabby's phone so easily makes me wonder if he did see that maybe she was calling or texting her ex that evening right before he killed her. He then takes the van and starts heading towards Florida and even uses her debit card to get gas and other things, and then even moves $700 from her bank account through Zelle to his bank account. And he put the Zelle memo as, "Goodbye Brian, I'll never ask you for anything again." On the 30th, he uses Gabby's phone to text her mom saying, "Can you help Stan? I've been getting his missed calls and voicemails." And basically that they don't have signal and can't connect. Now that text stood out to Gabby's mom because Stan was her grandpa, but she never called him Stan, she called him Grandpa. But she was like, maybe that was just Brian texting for her because she was driving. So from August 30th until September 9th, Gabby's mom continued to text and got nothing back from Gabby. And each day she got a little more worried. After 10 days of not hearing from Gabby, she texted Gabby's dad and he hadn't heard from her either. So he started trying to call her, but it just went to voicemail. The next day, Gabby's mom texts Brian's mom in Florida saying, "Have you heard from the kids?" And no response. So Gabby's dad then tries texting and calling Brian's parents and they ignore him as well. So they then text after no response saying, "We're going to call the cops," and still no response. You know that feeling you get in your stomach when something's just not right? I'm pretty sure that's what they were feeling, and it probably was growing worse each and every day. Finally on September 11th, they call the police and report her missing. And because the van was in Gabby's name, they were able to trace it down to Northport because they were living with Brian's parents before the trip. So they took a drive by Brian's parents' house and saw that the van was there. And when they knocked on the door to speak to him about what was going on, Brian's parents didn't want to speak to the police. And they said that they had gotten a lawyer. And also that Brian was there, but that's all that they were going to say. So the police relayed that information to Gabby's parents and they were like, "What? The van's back and Brian's back, but Gabby's not, and they have a lawyer and don't want to speak?" Gabby's mom said that she just felt so sick and I think she may have even fainted. Because at that point, you know something is bad.